Welcome to the January 2023 World Federation of Youth Clubs webcast. We are excited to take a few minutes today to talk with you about all that WFYC has to offer, how to take advantage of their membership with us this year, and share a little bit more about upcoming events. But before we get started, there's a few pieces of housekeeping we need to review together. Before we begin, I want to let you know that today you can listen live in Spanish. And in just a moment, you're going to hear from our Spanish interpreter with instructions on how to do that.
Muy buenos días con todos, les saluda su intérprete. Hoy día hay interpretación al español. En la parte de abajo derecha de su pantalla encuentran un globito donde dice interpretación. Pueden aplastar ahí y escoger español, su idioma de preferencia. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Jennifer. So if you'd like to listen today in Spanish, you can select interpretation at the bottom of your screen. Just a reminder that today and always, our webcast sessions are recorded so that we can share this session with the entire WFYC community. A link to this session will be emailed to you. And we do have, in addition to interpretation, we have the ability to include closed captions. So if you'd like to follow along with English closed captions, you can do that by clicking on Show Captions. A few other quick reminders before we get started. If you have been to a webcast before, you might notice that this webcast looks a little bit different. This is a Zoom webinar. It is not a Zoom meeting as we've typically done webcasts in the past. So that means you cannot see your fellow participants. However, you can still interact the same way you always have. You can chat with us. You can raise your hand to let one of the WFYC staff members know that you have a question or need assistance. And you can also use the Q&A function. That's a good option too. Your best view today is to click on View, then Speaker View, or side-by-side Speaker View, depending on how you like to view your screen. Today's agenda is simple. We're going to walk you through an introduction of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. Then we're going to talk all about our mission advancement services, our events and programs, how to get involved. If you're following along in Spanish, you should now be able to do so. So today's agenda, we will take some questions and then we'll wrap up with next steps and contact information. So if you do have additional questions, you know how to reach us. And without further ado, I would like to turn it over to World Federation of Youth Clubs CEO Kirk Dominic to kick off our very first webcast of the year.
Thank you, Abby. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Happy 2023. I'm sure it is for you as it has been for us, a whirlwind already. We're excited to be with you this morning. I am wrapping up my 7th month as in the position of CEO of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. And what I would share with you after 7 months is continuing to learn about the work you're doing and seeing the impact that you're making around the world. I am more inspired every day, and we as a team are more committed every day to determining how can we continue to add value to your membership in the World Federation of Youth Clubs. So I'm looking forward to today's session as we recap some of the work that we do, introduce some new offerings, and most importantly, at the end of the session, I look forward to hearing from you about questions or thoughts or ideas that you have about how we can strengthen our relationship. So I just want to give you a quick recap of some of the services that we provide as WFYC. Starting with the mission advancement team, Glenn and Tim and Jose, you all know one or more of them because they are your direct contact with the World Federation. This one-on-one consultation is something that we're certainly very proud of, and we hear great remarks from you all in terms of the need. This is where we're working with you and your organization to individualize the approach to building your capacity so that you can serve more young people more often in a more meaningful way. In the middle of the slide here, you see some of the programs that we offer, and I know that many of you have participated in those, and I hope you'll continue to spread the word. Our webcasts, such as the first one today, we will again have our virtual international conference. It will be in June of this year. You'll hear more about that in just a little bit. And I'm excited to tell you that we will be gathering in person again in 2023. We have a Leadership Institute here in Orlando, our headquarters, in early May. And again, I'll share more details. We continue to look for opportunities to pass through funding. We are not a major funder, nor do we have that intention, but we will continue to look for opportunities to provide mini grants and challenge grants to some of you who are doing innovative things and looking to grow your programming. And then obviously a highlight for us is recognizing the work you and your young people and your staff members do through our annual Promise Awards celebration. Networking is a big part of what we do, facilitating the opportunity for you all to get together and share best practices. We do some of that digitally through our monthly member newsletter. We have moved to a quarterly external newsletter to try to help those folks around the world know about the work that you're doing. I'm going to pause here to ask a favor of you. We have switched platforms recently. If you are not receiving our monthly member newsletter or other communications regularly from us, I would encourage you to check your spam folder or your junk folder and see if those emails are being delivered there. And if you can correct that, we want to make sure that we are communicating every opportunity for learning and networking to you. We have a sister club program where clubs in the United States partner with those of you around the world. There's been some very innovative things being done there. Virtual connection of young people, combined staff training, sharing of best practices. If you do not currently have a sister club relationship and you are interested in a sister club relationship, if you would please let your mission advancement team advisor know that, because we do have additional organizations in the United States who are looking for those relationships and engagements. And then we continue to try to grow our partnerships and connections so that we can provide you with world-class best practices in all aspects of youth development. So just a kind of an update on where we are. We continue to expand our reach. We just recently reached our 40th country, a significant milestone for us. I think since the last time we gathered as a group, we added 2 countries, Somalia and Iraq. And so we welcome those organizations and countries to the World Federation of Youth Club Families. Now at 135 organizations, just over 3,500 club locations, 20,500 plus of you out there working hard every day on the front lines to serve these young people, and almost 400,000 of those young people. We will continue to look for opportunities to grow and expand our reach around the world, and we appreciate your partnership in doing that. We recently reached out to you via a survey to find out what are your challenges, what are your priorities, what areas are you focusing on as you serve your young people in your clubs? And here's the snapshot of the results. The number one answer was academics, preparing young people academically and career preparation and health. Mental health, a big part of that. We certainly all know the impact of the lingering impact of the pandemic on the social and emotional well-being of young people. And then obviously underlying all of this is this basic tenet of child safety. But point these out because one of our priorities in 2023 is how can we get more focused in our curriculum and training and resource offerings, focused on program areas that are the most meaningful to you. And so one of the initiatives we're working on is putting together a team to vet the best practices and the best curriculum and the best training opportunities in these areas of academics, physical and mental health, child safety, and career preparation, so that we can offer those to you in a more intentional way. And so you'll hear more about that, particularly at our conferences. But I just want to share with you that we're really focused on expanding our reach, continuing to grow those numbers, and deepening our impact. How can we offer more meaningful program resource and training opportunities to you. So that's enough from me for the time being. I want to tell you about our amazing team. One of the things that I enjoy the most about the opportunity to be the CEO of the World Federation of Youth Clubs is the people that I get to work with and interact with every day. An amazing group of professionals, completely dedicated to serving you and the young people in the communities that you serve. I'm not going to introduce them. I wouldn't do it justice. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the person that I refer to as our resident rock star, Abby LeMay.
Thank you, Kirk. I'm Abby LeMay, Vice President of Global Impact Initiatives. It's been a pleasure getting to know all of you over the past almost year since I've joined the World Federation of Youth Clubs, and I'm so excited for all that 2023 has in store for our members this year. We are not going to do individual introductions of every team member, but we are going to have Tony introduce himself. And before we do that, I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of folks who are featured here. Daniel DeCosmo, he's our data and operations assistant. He works very hard behind the scenes to keep all of our work organized and easy to understand. We were recently joined by Ernie Vasquez and Kirsten Berry, who are incredible interns from Rollins MBA program. Tony, would you take a moment to introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name's Tony Galveo. I'm the Program Operations Coordinator. Been at WFYC for about 7 months now. I think I joined on pretty much just as Kirk joined on. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to work with everybody that's here in our team and everybody that's in our community. I've worked with a couple of names here, and I'm definitely looking forward to working with all of you soon. I work behind the scenes at the Webcast, so if you have any ideas, suggestions, or just want to talk about the Webcast, feel free to reach out to me. I am always available. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Tony. And that's our core office staff here at the World Federation of Youth Clubs office in Orlando, Florida. There are an additional team of folks, vendors and contractors who support other functions of the organization. And you may be familiar with the next group of team members, our mission advancement team. Glenn Permoy, who's our senior executive who oversees primarily clubs and relationships in Europe and the Caribbean. He could not join us today, but we do have a special video that we will play here in just a moment. But we do have two folks on the call today who are here and can introduce themselves. So Jose, would you please take a moment to introduce yourself?
Hey, good morning. My name's Jose Cruz. One of the original members of this organization. Welcome to all the new members of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. A few of you I helped bring on, so I know you pretty well, but just hello, welcome. And I just wanted to give shout out to Venezuela, who's here, Central America, who's here, and some of the other sites that I support directly. Welcome.
Thank you, Jose. And Tim, would you like to introduce yourself before we officially turn it over to you?
Surely. Hi, everyone. I'm Tim Richardson. I am the mission advancement team member supporting Africa, but that really isn't fair because we all communicate on a very regular basis and compare notes and share ideas and resources. And I'm really excited to be on the call, and I will stand by for my cue.
And Tim, before we officially turn it over to you to talk a little bit more about mission advancement, we're going to play a very short video from Glenn to kick off our segment on mission advancement. So bear with us for just a moment as we transition over to the video.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. I hope this message finds all of you doing well. I'm Glenn Permoy. I'm the Senior Executive for Enhancement and Innovation at the World Federation of Youth Clubs. Prior to my role of serving clubs as part of the Mission Advancement Team, I had the privilege and the pleasure of being the president of the World Federation of Youth Clubs. Now with Kirk Dominic in that role, we are thrilled to have the team that we have in place to continue to provide the types of services that we know all of you can benefit from. One of the keys to the success of the World Federation and all of your clubs are the benefits of the World Federation. That of networking, that of training, the conference, the webcasts, the one-on-one consultations that we provide, and of course, all the great work that you're doing that we're able to recognize as part of our Promise Awards and sharing that great work with other affiliates around the globe. There are too many to give special shout outs to in terms of the great organizations, but I would be remiss in not mentioning at least a few that I work with on a regular basis. The organization in Greece and in Hungary and Albania, also in the UK, national organization there and in Mexico. The great work of our club in Puerto Rico, who just recently hosted some clubs from the United States to come visit their locations. Of course, looking at great work and inspiration that I received from working with our clubs as part of Africa, in terms of not only South Africa, but two great organizations in Uganda, of course in Ghana, who have been with us since the very beginning, and Liberia with the Sports Academy and Education and Leadership Program. We're thrilled to have recent new attendees, new affiliates in Jamaica and the Bahamas. And then, of course, on the state side, great sister clubs like Skagit County and others who are assisting our organizations around the world. Hope you enjoy what we're presenting to you today. Continued great work and success for all of you. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Thank you, Glenn. And now we are going to hear far more in depth from Tim Richardson about what does mission advancement mean? What is a mini grant? What's a sister club? Let's take a couple of minutes and hear from Tim about all of that.
Great. Abby, thank you so much. And okay, so for all the listeners in here, this is really sort of key. What's in it for you? And that's what I'd like to kind of focus on. And there's a commonality among all of our affiliates. I mean, people that really care about kids, they started up an operation, they're doing some form of service. So, but the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. And that's where we come in. So there's something that keeps anyone that runs any organization or business, there's something that keeps them up at night. It might be, how to grow your board. It might be how to expand your program. It might be help with a proposal. Well, so what the Mission Advancement Team does, we're your lifeline. We're in the canoe, Jose, Glenn, and I. We do a lot of listening on every call. And the first question I ask every call, we have monthly calls with our affiliates, is what's keeping you up at night this month? And then we start unwrapping that and figuring out how we might support. And so I've been in youth development for 45 years. I'm a rookie on the Mission Advancement Team side. And so again, if I don't have the answer just from experience, I can quickly go and ask others. So a couple of things about mission advancement. First, you're not alone. No matter where you are on the planet, you're not alone. You're as close as an email, a Zoom call, a WhatsApp call, and we exist to help you move to the next level. We are your eyes, your ears, and your advocates. And with regard to the ears, we listen a lot, and in our mind and in our reports, we have a snapshot of your organization and the ways to support it. If you look at the World Federation website, it's like a fire hose. There's no way you're going to digest all the information that's in there, but that's part of our job, is to listen to you and figure out what is the one ingredient you need right now and help you with that. One of the things I was asked to do was to share, well, I'm looking at the script here, I should stick with it. So we have two key tools, and the map and the tab. Oh, okay, wow, we have slides here. Map and tab. So mission advancement plan. Every one of our sites goes through this annually, and it really is our blueprint on how to help your organization. Where is your organization right now? And then from the and it's just simple questions about your organization that we interpret, and then we come up with a plan together for the work that we will do in the coming 12 months. And so that work that we're going to do together is we take this snapshot, the mission advancement plan, and then we create a technical assistance plan, which is specific to your organization. And again, it's that fire hose. You're not going to be able to do it all, but the three things that you really need help with are fill in the blank. That's where we work together to find solutions to those issues. I was asked to give a couple of examples of success stories, and there's one site that they relatively new startup site. The fellow who runs it has a huge heart in Botswana, huge heart, runs an outstanding program. But he, going back to the earlier statement, was sort of feeling like he was out there alone. They affiliated with World Federation, and he has taken off like a rocket in terms of identifying new local resources. Members of parliament are now assisting local bank leaders. He's gone to other clubs to learn. And so most recently, the US Embassy had grants that were available in that country, and he just had never written a proposal before. And so we had tutorials to help. That was what he needed. That was the secret ingredient he needed. And the result, after 2 or 3 sessions, was one, he learned how to write proposals, but he was successful in securing $9,000 from, and we didn't find that opportunity for him. He found it and brought it to us. On the converse, the World Federation has its ears out always. Mini grants are one example where we have resources, and if it's something that relates to your organization, we're going to let you know. We're going to say, yes, oh, here's something you might consider. And if we say you might consider it, I strongly encourage you to do it, because it's a good chance you'll be successful. So there are external resources and resources that you have that you're wrestling with, and there's internal opportunities and resources that we will identify and share with you. So long story short is, and the only other thing I wanted to share is that on the programmatic side, we have access to programs from a variety of national organizations, tried, tested, true. And I was using Botswana as an example. So they use the Money Matters program, which is a financial literacy program. And that was a gateway to them working with their local bank. So as we listen to what you're working on, we can help you expand your thinking, and then also help you with resources to maximize that opportunity. I don't know if I've gone over my time or what, but I do want to say that we are here for you. That's what we do. Oh, sister clubs. Okay. So there are, as I said earlier, you're not alone. There are sites all over the world that are doing the same work you're doing, and they're maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years beyond where you are right now. And as Kirk mentioned earlier, they are excited about working with a site that's doing the same work, and all manners of exchanges have happened with kids exchanging ideas and programs, the leadership comparing notes. There's 15 out there now, and it's a free connection. If you're interested, let us know and we'll find a partner for you. And then the two of you work on the best way to work together, and we'll guide the process. Is there, yes, mini grants we touched on a little bit. And global initiatives. So I'm not exactly sure which of the global initiatives that we'd like to highlight. But again, we work with the likes of Special Olympics and Peace Corps and others. And we make those opportunities known to our affiliates. And again, it's no pressure. It's if it's a resource that works for you and your organization, by all means, we'll help you maximize it. But the idea is that we have our eyes and ears to the ground to identify programs, resources, training, support that will move the needle for your organization. And we're in the canoe with you to make you the best organization, staff, program that you can be.
Well said, Tim. We are all in this canoe together to help improve outcomes for young people around the world. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And I'm excited to dive a little bit further into how we take that individual one-on-one mission advancement services and also complement it with a variety of education and other impactful initiatives. So first, Kirk mentioned it in the beginning, so I won't belabor the point, but we do have a monthly member newsletter that is designed just for affiliate members so that you know what's happening in the World Federation of Youth Clubs. If you would like to be featured, if you want to share a story about a staff member, a young person, a board member, someone in your community who has done something above and beyond that you want to celebrate, let us know. We would love to help you celebrate that with our entire network and the world. This newsletter is member focused and it is designed for you. So if there is information, resources, or other materials that you want to see more of, let us know. It's our job to make sure that we provide the information that you want. So let us know if there's something that we can do more of. And of course, I know Kirk mentioned it, but I'm going to say it again. Please check your junk or spam folder. We recently switched over to a new platform and it often goes to your junk box. And if you still don't have our most recent newsletter in your junk box, let us know. Reach out to Glenn, Tim, Jose, to me, to Tony. Let somebody know that you're not receiving our messages so we can make sure that you do. Next up is our education programs, which we will talk more in depth about each one of these three. So we have Webcast, which you're participating in right now, our in-person Leadership Institute that you'll hear more about from Kirk, and our virtual conference. So first is Webcast, and Tony is going to take a minute to share more about that because he leads that initiative.
All right. Well, first of all, welcome to the first webcast of 2023. 2023 is going to be a super exciting year for webcasts. I know I'm excited. Abby's excited. I think the rest of the team's excited. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and we are really gearing up to give you a fantastic webcast series for 2023. Up here, we have a couple of upcoming webcasts that I think are super exciting. Abby and I have met with the speakers of all of these webcasts, and they are fantastic individuals that are gearing up to give you some fantastic presentations. Some of those are going to be on internet safety. We have a couple of sister club partnerships that are going to be explaining how that relationship works, how the collaboration and partnerships have worked to further both of their organizations. We have one on healthy communication and abuse prevention and the donor cycle. So with that being said, 2023 is looking to be our best year yet for webcasts. And I'm super excited to bring that to you.
And one fun way you might want to go about participating in the webcast, even if you can't join live, because we know this time might not work for everybody around the world, it is recorded. So we encourage you to share that recording with your staff. If you have a monthly staff meeting, consider playing part or all of the webcast as part of your training. that could be one way to help share that information out with your team so you can make sure that it is going where it needs to go. And next up is our in-person Leadership Institute, and Kirk is going to share more about that.
Thanks, Abby. So as I said earlier, I'm excited. We're going to have an in-person gathering again this year. It'll be May 1st through the 3rd here in Orlando, Florida. We have sent out a registration email with some more details, but I just want to share a few things with you. The session will be facilitated by Ed Mishrell, who is the author of a new book, 5 Truths for Transformational Leaders, which is actually built on real-life case studies of Boys and Girls Club and other youth club CEOs who have shown tremendous impact and kind of the characteristics that they share. Ed will be joined by our World Federation of Youth Club team and some other subject matter experts. There'll be opportunities for you all to share with each other and network around best practices. We chose the dates because it is just before the Boys and Girls Clubs of America's National Conference, which is held also in Orlando at the same location. We're proud to say, with our partnership with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, if you come and participate in the World Federation Leadership Institute, you are invited to stay at no cost, no registration cost, and participate in Boys and Girls Clubs of America's National Conference, where you will be exposed to another comprehensive offering of subject matter experts and pretty exciting celebrations. We hope you can be there. The goal is that you will leave the Leadership Institute with a very customized individual plan for moving your organization forward. And so we look forward to the fellowship and the gathering. And if you have any questions, you can direct those to your mission advancement team member or email any of us. I will tell you that for the first 30 organizations that register to send a participant, we are providing a $500 scholarship to that organization to help offset the cost of travel or lodging, or however you'd like to apply it to Leadership Institute related expenses. So excited about the opportunity. Look forward to seeing all of you there. Bring your friends. Abby, back to you.
We are looking forward to seeing some of you in person this May. I do want to share that if you cannot join us in person, you will still have the opportunity to learn from our Leadership Institute facilitator, Ed Mishrell. He's going to join us in May at our webcast for a special session on leadership. Next up is our Lead, Innovate, and Collaborate 2023 virtual conference. Now, if you've been a member of WFYC for a little while now, you're probably used to attending our conference in March. This year, we're doing things a little bit differently, and our dates are actually June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. It's the same format it has been in the past, daily 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The room will open early and close late so that you can join, network, visit exhibitor halls, talk to vendors and different partners to get resources to bring back to your organization. But the bottom line for this conference experience is this: registration is free, and we hope that you will make this a special event at your club. We want you to register, plan a watch day with your staff, with your volunteers, with your board. Make it fun. Have lunch together. Have everyone bring their own lunch or breakfast or dinner, depending on where you are in the world. The sessions this year will look a little bit different than they have in the past. In the past, we've had all general sessions. A lot of them have been very short, quick bites of information. This year is going to look a little bit different, and there are going to be some special fundraising tracks, one designed for smaller, newer, more grassroots organizations who maybe don't have dedicated fundraising staff or are just getting started. And we'll have a separate session on fundraising for those organizations that are maybe a little bit more established in fundraising. Perhaps they have staff and they want to take their fundraising to the next level. Of course, we will have live Spanish interpretation of all sessions. And by popular demand, I'm thrilled to share that if you join late one day, I hope you won't, But if you do join late and you miss a session, you can go back the same day and watch that session so that you can catch up before we go into the next day of the conference. There will be daily drawings and opportunities to win fabulous prizes, and you don't want to miss that. And last but not least, I will share that we are still accepting speaker proposals. It says January 31st is our deadline, but you are the first to hear that we are extending that by just a couple of weeks to February 15th to allow folks a little bit more time to submit those session proposals. And if you are listening to this webcast today and thinking, I have this program or this project or this fundraising experience that worked really, really well, and I want my peers in youth development to know about it, this is a great opportunity for you to submit a proposal to speak at the conference, because experts and leaders are all of you, and we would love to learn from you and with you at this conference. So if you have any questions or you might be interested in speaking at the conference, please reach out to me, to Tony, or to your mission advancement advisor. This year, can you go back one slide, please? This year at the Lead, Innovate, Collaborate virtual conference, we are looking for entertainment to feature young people from around the world. So instead of a DJ or other music during breaks, we'd really love to use this time to showcase what youth in creative and performing arts are doing in your programs around the world. So this is the first time you'll hear about this, but it certainly won't be the last. In February, we're going to open a very simple application form for you to submit your interest in having your youth or a musical or dance or art program featured as part of the conference entertainment. There are mini grants available for those who participate. And of course, it's an opportunity to celebrate and showcase the incredible talents of your young people. So more to come on that very soon. Next, of course, is our Promise Awards. There will be a special session at the conference that breaks down the Promise Awards, what to expect, how to apply, how to fill out that application, and we'll just go through some best practices. You'll hear from previous Promise Award recipients to tell you about how receiving an award in leadership programs or youth has impacted them and their club and community. So here is a quick overview of our 2023 event schedule. Don't worry about trying to write all of this down. We will make sure that this is included in your follow-up. But webcasts, monthly, third Thursdays of the month at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Leadership Institute, May 1st through 3rd, hosted here in Orlando, Florida. Virtual conference, June 21st through 23rd, and the Promise Awards coming in November. Registration and save the date will be available for that in the coming months. Consider featuring your young people or program that focuses on creative and performing arts at the conference. And of course, if you have any questions about your membership, your mission advancement plan, your technical assistance plan, if you want to know how to become a sister club, or just anything at all, please contact your mission advancement team advisor or our staff for assistance. It was great spending time with you all today. If you have any further questions, your main contact for the webcast program is Tony Galveo. His phone number is available here. You can also reach him over WhatsApp with that same number. His email address is here, and then our contact information is to the right. Again, we will include this in the follow-up. And last but not least, if you're not currently following us on social media, I hope that before you walk away from your computer to take a break today, that you will do so and interact and share our posts so that we can continue to celebrate and champion youth development work around the globe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to our interpretation provider. Thank you to our staff. And of course, thank you to all of you for taking time out of your very busy days as youth development leaders to come here and learn more about how to make the most of your experience with the World Federation of Youth Clubs. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.